Hello, I'm Jerry Work with ProfitDig, sitting here talking to my partner Jeff Spencer.
How you doing, Jerry?
Good, Jeff. How you doing?
Doing well.
All right, so Jeff, everybody knows this Nashville, Middle Tennessee area is booming.
Right.
Construction is booming.
Right.
So let's say I'm a young man, been working construction since I got out of high school. Would it be better for me to go ahead and make the jump now, even if I don't have all of the resources and knowledge I may need? Should I go ahead and start my business now to get into this market? Or would you still advise waiting until I have the necessary resources or knowledge that you would normally expect, even if the market is not as good at that point?
Well, Jerry, there's a lot of ways to look at these aspects from what you're talking about, and from being a previous business owner that saw my business go down and what we went through, excuse me. Yes, now's the time to get in business in Nashville, because the market is so good and there's so much work going on. I think right now, I don't know how you even classify this, but I think we lead the nation in tower cranes that's set up, in downtown Nashville. And but I would not recommend anyone going into business until they had the finances they need to support their company, for 6+ months, and knowing that you had, the resources to make it happen, and that boils down to estimating and sending proposals and picking up jobs. I definitely would not want to do anything until I knew I had a job to back me up. If I knew I had, access to resources, and then I would go into my bidding process and try to get, 1 or 2 jobs under my belt, and then at that point, I have no choice but to make the leap.
Okay. So I'm 25 years old. I've been working construction since I graduated high school. But you're saying if I don't have resources enough, say to sustain myself for 6 months or so, I need to just start saving money, building those resources up, and wait until I know I can sustain myself as a viable business, rather than just jumping in just because the market is good.
Right. And it's, from the aspects you just gave, as a 25-year-old, been working construction for the last, 7-8 years, it's still going to be tough. I don't know if you can save enough money because, you're talking hundreds of thousands and maybe millions of dollars, to get involved in the construction industry. And, you can do it on a smaller scale, like if you want to be like, a subcontractor that goes into, maybe it's carpentry, maybe it's a finish carpenter. You don't have a whole lot as far as overhead, to do this sort of construction, and it may not take as many resources, but, if you're looking at the excavation and utility work, if that's your forte, what you want to do, then it's going to take a lot more money to get you in that position to say, hey, I'm a legitimate business. And, that's what you've got to determine as an individual. What are you looking at? And even in the construction, as far as excavation and utility, you can still be on a smaller scale. But you still got to have the resources, because 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be a one-man show. You can't do it all yourself. You're going to have, some small equipment. You're going to have 1 or 2 laborers, to help you, or operators. And you're going to have, some sort of office staff, to do your books and keep up, do your payroll. And at that point, you're still talking, probably $200,000 or $300,000 to get started, on a minimum.
Okay, let me ask you this: how do I get from here to there? If I'm starting from scratch and I know I need $100,000, I mean, do I need to go and try to close a job to win a job first, in order to go and show a bank, hey, I've got this job, I need this much money? Or
yes and no. If you're a construction worker and you're out in the field working, and that is your background, that's all you know, I wouldn't recommend it at all. I mean, you need to have the experience of being in the field, yes, because you've got to be able to, as an estimator and project manager, be able to have foresight and see what this project is going to look like, what it's going to cost you to put this project in, but you also need some time in the office to do some estimating work. If you don't have some kind of estimating in your background, to be able to figure the cost of a job or know what it's going to take to put this in and give a good, accurate, bid analogy, then, I would say, you need a little more experience. Spend a little more time in the field, work your way into the office. If the company you're working for, if you don't see that happening, make a change. Construction is good right now, not only in Nashville, but it's good nationwide. So, there's other opportunities, to try to move up, but, you need the experience in the field, and you also need experience in the office as far as an estimator or project manager, standpoint to be able to manage your bids and manage your project.
Okay. So regardless of how good the market is, then I still need to make sure that I have access to the resources and the knowledge to run a successful company before I just decide to go off and start my own business.
Yes. Because, just because you think you know how to put a project in, you've been working on this project, it doesn't necessarily mean you know what it's going to cost you to put that project in.
Okay.
And whatever resources you have available, for all I know, they could be unlimited. But if they're not, you could blow through those resources pretty quick and be right back out working in the field for somebody else versus working for yourself.
Okay. All right, Joe. Good information. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Hey, guys, if you ever do decide to go and bid for yourself, check us out at ProfitDig. And if you have any questions, right at the bottom of our screen, we got a little online chat, and send us any questions or concerns you may have, and we'll answer them to the best of our knowledge. Thank you all for listening in.